afternoon. Nikki here from Cluckin' Nuts. It's been one of them days. A lot of us are feeling under the weather and just have felt horrible. We're having that nasty crud that's going around. So to kind of help us out a little bit today, I just decided I'm going to do a yummy comfort food. And I thought I'd take y'all along and show you how I make it. So excuse my voice on the video, it's still pretty rough. And I hope y'all enjoy, and let's go make some rabbit dumplings.
To start off, I put my rabbit in the Instapot, and yes, it is frozen, and set that for 30 minutes to get it started cooking. Now we're going to move on to the dumplings. So last night I put 1 cup of sourdough starter and 1 cup of flour together to ferment. Now to that I'm going to be adding 1 egg as well as a half a teaspoon of sea salt, and then 1 teaspoon of thyme and basil herbs to this mixture, and then just a little bit of a pinch of black pepper to it. Then you're going to give that a really good stir, really working that in. Next, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. I don't really measure or anything, I just kind of eyeball it. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder to the mix. And give that all a really good stir. I know it's kind of runny and kind of goopy looking, but this is the way we like our dumplings, and you'll see why as we finish up the soup and all. Now onto the rabbit. I'm just going to be pulling all the meat off these bones, and I'll be saving the bones because I'll be using them for further bone broth. And as you can see here in the white bowl, that's how much meat we ended up with. And then the yellow is just extras that's going to be going out to the animals. After I debone all of that, then I will just be cutting it up into small chunks. Now for the rest of the dish. So here I am just cutting up 1 small onion. You're going to want to dice it fairly small, like it doesn't have to be super small. And then you're going to mince up 3 cloves of garlic to be adding to this. Now in a good sized pot, you are going to get about a tablespoon of oil going. Here I just decided to use some tallow because that is usually what we use here on the homestead. Once that is all good and melted, you're going to go ahead and add in your onions. They can take a few minutes to cook, but I like to get some really good color on them before I start adding in anything else. Next, I am adding in the garlic, and then I'll just give that a good stir, and I usually let the garlic cook for about a minute or 2. Here I am adding a couple tablespoons of arrowroot flour. We're going to be making kind of like a gravy with this. So after you get that in and you get it stirred up really well, making sure that all the flour has been absorbed, we're going to be moving on to the broth next. This was just some vegetable broth that I had, and it ended up taking 2 pints. You can use pretty much whatever you want. Just make sure that you stir after each addition to see if you're going to have to be adding any more or not. Once the broth is all mixed in, you're going to be adding your milk next. This is 2 cups of goat's milk. You can use any milk. You can even make this dairy-free if you needed to as well. Give all that a good stir and make sure that it is fully incorporated. Then you're just going to want to let it kind of thicken, but not too much. In the meantime, you can add just a little bit of black pepper and some sea salt or any kind of salt of your choice. Just keep stirring and keep working it until it comes to a slight thickness. You don't want to be too thick. Now for the rabbit. You could very well add chicken at this point if you want to, if you don't have rabbit or you choose not to eat rabbit. We just raise rabbit on our homestead and usually eat rabbit about once or twice a week. Once you get the rabbit in there, you're just going to give it a really good stir, and now it's time for the dumplings. I mentioned before, yes, the dumplings are runny. If you want a thicker dumpling, you can always add more flour to it as well. It is fine. But we like ours a little on the thinner side, and you will see why
because of the ending product. Look at that. Look how thick it looks. I did end up having to add a little extra broth to it just to thin it out because it ended up being too thick. Now ladle it into some bowls and enjoy. This stuff is going to warm you up so much. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that y'all try that recipe out, and if you enjoy it, I would love to hear your comments on it. I'll be sharing the link to the dumplings below in the description, as well as sharing a PDF of where you can download for the rabbit part. So I hope y'all give it a try and enjoy, and thanks for watching. Bye.